Today on Monkey Life, Alison comes up with a plan to collect Dodger, a capuchin monkey in desperate need of rehoming, whose recently widowed owner can no longer look after him.
Jeremy and I will go at crack of dawn. Sorry for short notice.
No, that's fine.
There's a surprise revelation during a health check on a recent arrival.
Is he a boy?
It's a girl.
There's no testis. I think it's a girl.
And is this camera chimp-proof? Let's find out. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
I can't keep her in, get in. Okay.
The park provides a home for more than 260 primates from 24 different species. The park is home to 72 capuchin monkeys, the majority rescued from a Chilean laboratory, and others victims of the British pet trade. 2 recent arrivals came from a zoo in Wales, which was forced to rehome some of its animals. However, only 2 pet trade capuchins have been taken in since 2004. They were Gizmo and, more recently, Chuck. But today, Alison has received a phone message from a woman recently widowed and desperate to rehome a family pet of many years.
Dodger, the capuchin monkey, is a 27-year-old male, and now that the lady's husband has passed, she really doesn't know how to look after Dodger because it was sort of his thing, and Dodger has been escaping the last 2 days.
Before Alison can offer to take the capuchin, she needs more information, so puts in a call to owner Tracy.
Hello?
Hi, is this Tracy?
Speaking.
Hi, Tracy, it's Alison calling from Monkey World.
Oh, hello there, Alison.
How are you doing?
Okay, under the circumstances.
Yeah, really sorry. I understand that your husband's passed away.
Yeah, he did just over 2 months ago.
Ugh, really sorry about that. It's really not an easy time.
No.
Okay, and I understand that you've got one other man in your life named Dodger.
Yeah, he's gorgeous. Yeah, he's 27, and we've had him from probably just under a year old. He was an RSPCA rescue.
Tracy and her late husband already had 3 capuchins, and when the RSPCA were looking for a home for Dodger more than 25 years ago, they agreed to help. But now, he's the only one left. Armed with photos sent by Tracy, Alison sits down with head of section Donna to see if there's a way they can rehome him at the park.
He's got quite a story because he's lived in this lady's back garden.
Oh.
RSPCA confiscated Dodger and another capuchin monkey from somewhere. Dodger's companion was apparently aggressive and actually bit the man, and they organized for Dodger's companion to go to a zoo someplace else, and they kept Dodger. And then the 3 monkeys went on to have 1 baby that was female, so they took that baby and put with Dodger. So for 10 years, Dodger lived with a female capuchin monkey.
Right. He's big.
Donna's impressed with Dodger, but offering him a home is a big decision, with knock-on effects for the capuchin team and their charges. The recent arrival of capuchins Matty and Louie from Wales, plus the birth of marmoset twins, means the already tight space in the small monkey houses is being pushed to the limit. But both Alison and Donna want to find a way to help.
I feel that something needs to be done for Dodger, because if he's getting out of the cage and the lady can't cope with keeping him, then, I mean, yeah. I feel like we need to step up and try and do something for him.
Matty and Louie are currently living in a temporary home at one of the marmoset houses. One option, once they've passed a health check and are free from parasites, is to move them elsewhere in the park to make room for Dodger.
I'm prepared to go with you. At least we're on the same page about...
Yeah. Just giving him some time on his own first, yeah.
The decision is made. Now Alison wants to collect Dodger as soon as possible to allow time for his health checks, introductions to new companions, and for him to settle into a group before winter comes.
If we bring him back Wednesday, so Jeremy and I will go at crack of dawn, talk to the lady, see the setup. Sorry for short notice.
No, that's fine.
Donna and the Capuchin team will have their work cut out to organise Dodger's new home in time for his arrival at the park. It's less than a month since marmosets Marge and Bart had twins, one of the reasons pressure has increased. The marmoset section is full to bursting. The youngsters are doing well, are super confident and showing interest in the world around them.
Quite exciting day because we've actually started seeing the babies come off of the parents and start to make their own few steps around the branches.
But although it's great to see them demonstrating some independence at such a young age, it's also a little concerning for the team.
When they're on their parents, they can grab hold of their hair, the parents are kind of aware of them and kind of compensate if they feel like they're wobbling a little bit. Whereas if they're just on a branch, it's static, there's not really anything to hold on to, and if they go to slip, there's no one there to save them. So we're just going to keep a very close eye on them, and if we need to, we can deep litter the floor and protect them a bit more that way. I think for the parents, it's quite nice when they get off for a little few minutes, give them a break, gives them a chance to have a shakedown, a bit of a groom, and then they go back and get them and pick them back up again. Bart is a really attentive dad. He's one of the best dads I've ever seen, and he's very, very focused on the kids, and he won't leave them very long, and he won't go very far away from them, even if they are off him.
In the wild, marmosets usually have twins, sometimes triplets, and even quads.
Generally, when there's 1 or 2 babies born to marmosets, they're much more likely to survive and they're much more likely to thrive. A lot of the marmosets here at the park haven't had the good fortune of being raised by their parents. They've been taken away at a young age and they've been hand-reared by people. And that's where we see a lot of problems when they then come to us. They don't know how to be marmosets properly, they don't know how to communicate properly. Whereas these guys, they'll grow up with their parents, they'll learn exactly what it is to be a marmoset, everything about that, communication, good food, how to climb, and it's just a really good start for them. It's the best start they could have.
Marge was already pregnant, and unfortunately, having paired with Bart, she's ousted Maggie from the group. It's another component of the complicated matrix the care team are doing their best to solve.
We have tried her with Loki, who is our resident bachelor. He doesn't particularly like other marmosets, but we thought a nice young female, maybe he'll change her mind. Put her in the enclosure opposite, and it was quite apparent that he didn't like her. So we've still come up with some plans and some future ideas for Maggie. We've got a few options to go through, so we're sure it won't be long before she has her own friend.
In the meantime, Marge and Bart are still sorting out childcare.
They were on Bart, the dad, and it was baby crying, so it probably wanted some milk. So Marge has just come over and taken it, and now Bart wants it back. Bart doesn't like giving up the babies very easily.
In the wild, marmoset dads and older siblings do much of the carrying and care of babies, and Bart is shouldering responsibility for his family.
If we hadn't rescued them when they did, they would have given birth in the pet trade, and who knows where they would have ended up. So we're just happy that even though we said yes to 3 and ended up with 5, we're happy that they're here and they're safe.
Across the park, breakfast time at the chimp enclosures is normally a noisy affair. The morning release allows the groups to let off a bit of steam as they head out in search of food scattered around by the care team. But this morning, Hananya's group of 18 are a bit subdued. The first item on today's breakfast menu is whole red onions, and it's not been met with much enthusiasm. There is something more exciting on the way, but the chimps don't know that yet. However, there is something new in the enclosure the team hope won't grab their attention too soon. A new and hopefully chimp-proof camera has been installed on one of the poles attached to the climbing frame. It's been designed to capture the chimp's day-to-day life from a unique, never-seen-before angle. But chimps don't miss much, and without anything else to distract them, the metal box is spotted. Evelyn is the first to notice and makes a cautious approach to check it out. Followed by Cookie. Arthur, always enthusiastic but not the brightest chimp, puts on a bit of a display. Which grabs the attention of young Thelma, who comes in for a close-up. Next, it's Shamak's turn. Still carrying his onion breakfast, he tests the extra strong casing. But it's dominant female Johnny who flexes her muscles to assess just how chimp-proof the camera really is, giving it a thorough going over. Chimpanzees are immensely strong and can be pretty destructive, but the camera is standing up to every attempt to remove it from the pole. Even Jess trying to bite it free using her strong jaw and teeth. Leader Hananya comes across to see what all the fuss is about. But something else is about to divert the group's attention. The first maize of the season has been cut, and some of the stalks, with cobs still attached, are heading their way. They've been donated by a local farmer. The camera is forgotten. The chimps haven't had this healthy treat for almost 9 months. Watching from above, they hoot with excitement. The maize is thrown into the enclosure from 3 different locations to give everyone a chance to grab their share. No one should miss out. Even low-rankers, like female Honey, can get stuck in. She heads up high with her bundle in a bid to secure it from anyone else. All the chimps have their own technique to devour the maize. Kiki likes to strip the stalks and eat the nutritious flesh underneath. While others, like Zeynep, prefer to eat the cobs first. Leader Hananya, however, uses the maize stalks in a display before heading off on patrol. Once they've had a belly full, it's time to relax. But sneaky Thelma takes the opportunity to hide one last stalk for a snack later in the day. It's been a couple of weeks since the monkeys from Borth Zoo in Wales came to the park. Capuchins Matty and Louie have been getting used to their new surroundings and their new carers. And the primate care team have taken the opportunity to assess their characters and see how well they move around the enclosure. They're going to need to join one of the park's 5 capuchin groups soon, so it's vital information.
Yeah, we have seen that their mobility isn't amazing. They do need to build their muscles up a little bit, and certainly we've seen them favouring the logs instead of the hosing, and we have got a lot more hosing outside than they're used to. But all of these things they're going to have to get used to. We've got them in all of our other enclosures, and over time they should get used to that. It's just all new and different.
But before the pair can move on, freeing up space for expected newcomer Dodger, they need a health check, and, as they're males, a vasectomy. Wildlife vet Nic Masters, along with the vet team, are getting ready to perform the procedures at the park's hospital.
We've got precious to no history, right?
None.
Okay.
The primate care team have been preparing assiduously for today. They've been training Matty and Louie to walk into a section of tunnel, which can be sealed off in order to get them into a travel box. And this morning, the hard work pays off. Matty's straight into the crate without any fuss or stress and whisked off to the hospital. Once there, he's anaesthetised so Nic can get to work.
Always good to be patient and then have him up here on the table and intubate him so we can control the anaesthesia really well and then get on with the surgery.
Matty is weighed
3.6. Brilliant.
and given a microchip required by law.
OK.
After an all-over body check, Nic moves on to Matty's vasectomy. Today, the procedure is straightforward.
Sometimes it can be really hard to identify what the vas is and what other things are, so that's good news.
Finally, Nic takes a series of X-rays to check the monkey's bone density and look for any unforeseen conditions.
Looks all right, doesn't it? Does look all right. I think that's fine.
Overall, Nic is fairly happy with Matty's condition.
Good job. Thank you.
Matty is put into his box to recover, and next up is Louis, who's already arrived at the hospital. First impressions aren't good.
Definitely underweight.
Nic examines Louis more closely, and there's a big surprise for the team.
Does he have any testicles?
Nope. That's what I'm just looking at. Is he a boy?
It's a girl.
It might be. It might be. There's no testis and there's a bum. I think it's a girl. It's good we look before we try to find the vas deferens surgically.
Louis arrived from Borth Zoo described as male. But she's female. The revelation could affect which of the capuchin groups the pair join. And it also means Louis doesn't need a vasectomy.
We're gonna carry on with the anaesthetic. We're gonna take some X-rays, take some bloods, gonna microchip all that. Yeah.
Nic continues with the health check, taking bloods and inserting a microchip before taking a number of X-rays.
They look good, I think. They're all good.
The X-rays don't reveal anything that could explain Louis being so underweight.
Is that all she is? 2 kilograms? Wow.
Or her lack of muscle tone.
You know, do you ever feel like that? That's her shoulder. You can feel everything. I mean, there's no deltoid, there's nothing at all, is there?
Nic is concerned.
She's very underweight. I always hesitate to say an animal's emaciated because that's kind of skeletal in my opinion. You know, we score them out of 9 now, so she's not a 1, but she's probably a 2 out of 9, so she's very under condition. And we were just, you know, looking at things that you don't normally notice. So this is her shoulder, and you know, everything's on show because there's no body fat at all. And not only is there no body fat, but there's very little muscle development. She just doesn't have it, so that's a bit concerning. It might be some underlying disease process that's causing her to sort of break protein down.
Until the test results come back, the team will give Louis an appropriate diet to try to increase her weight and general condition and build up her muscle tone. For now, the pair can return to their bedroom to recover from the anaesthetic under the watchful gaze of the primate care team. Matty and Louie weren't the only primates to arrive from Wales. They were accompanied by 2 Patas monkeys, Mr. Patas and Lady Penelope. Since their arrival, they've been living in rooms at the Guenon house, next door to the family of 4. The team are hoping all 6 will one day get on well enough to share the outside space. But for now, they're being kept apart. The Patas monkeys are huge and the Guenons feisty, so it remains to be seen how well they will mix. The Guenons enjoy a large tree-filled enclosure, which until now, the Patas have only seen from their house. Today, primate care staff member Nic and the team have decided they're going to be allowed out for the first time.
We're going to just give them the enclosure by themselves. We'll see how they react and hopefully be able to get them back in and start getting them used to coming in and out so that we can manage them into the future with the Guenon family.
Animal director Jeremy and Nick check the slides and fence line to make sure everything is secure. Monkeys and apes sometimes test an enclosure the first time they enter it. So Alison and Kat are also on hand to help make sure everything goes smoothly.
Can I have one of your nets, Kat?
It's an open-top enclosure, and there is always that concern that they just do the leap of faith, but the enclosures are all designed here to keep the primates in and to keep them safe, so we should be fine.
Food has been put in buckets outside to help tempt the patas from the house, and will be used again to encourage them back in later.
They are very food motivated, these two, Mr. Patas and Penelope. So I'm hoping that, you know, showing them that we've got some food inside will bring them back in, and then we can, you know, manage them that way.
Mr. Patas checks for potential dangers before heading out to explore. Lady Penelope is much more wary. There's a lot to take in, including the morning song of a nearby pair of gibbons. Once out, she sticks close to Mr. Patas. Then she heads up a tree where she can see, but is partially hidden from view. In the wild, Patas monkeys spend much of their time on the ground feeding, moving into the trees at night for safety. Jeremy uses a high vantage point to keep an eye on her. Lower down, Mr. Patas spots his reflection in an aluminium panel bordering the enclosure. Fearing it's another male, he begins warning yawns, which show off his immense canine teeth to frighten off any intruder. As the dominant male, it's his role to protect his lady.
He's very defensive of her, and she's quite shy. He's not shy at all. They're a really nice, stable pair, but between the two of them, it's definitely her that wears the trousers.
Nick and the team are worried Mr. Patas is becoming too stressed and start to encourage them both back into the house.
We're going to do some work on that shiny bit of enclosure there, so it won't be a sort of reflective mirror, and hopefully that will be less stressful for him, so next time we let him out, he won't have that issue of thinking that there's another male threatening his territory.
There'll be more short trips outside to build their confidence, so the Patas pair can begin to enjoy the enclosure to the full. Next time on Monkey Life. Alison and Jeremy come up with a cunning plan to collect Dodger the capuchin.
Now, we need the box at the end of the tunnel here.
Yeah. And then
And
we'll
then
get him into the tunnel.
there and put the forks in. Don't you worry, we'll sort it.
And sunflowers for the squirrel monkeys.